Morning. So today I've got the big boy pants on, having to go at a 600. Now this is my first Audax 600. Regular viewers will know that I've done quite a bit of big back-to-back day riding, but honestly it's been quite a long time since I've done a multi-day time pressured ride, and the first time I've done it as a 600 Audax. I'm feeling reasonably confident at the moment. I got a schedule that I don't think is particularly ambitious, but it's going to certainly get me there in time, and actually gives me quite a few hours of contingency as well. Get to my first stop in Aylesbury, which is 355k, by midnight. I think that will still give me 6 or 7 hours sleep, and that will leave me with a 255k day tomorrow, which is eminently doable for sure. Morning. 'Just coming into Brixham now, 100k in, first one of my checkpoints for the day. Generally feeling pretty strong actually, but experience tells me to take a break, so that's what I'm going to do. Going to find the Workhouse Cafe, grab a coffee, and yeah, chill for a bit. 153k done. Last 50k has been kind of tough actually. It's certainly heated up. It's definitely hotter than advertised, I'll tell you that. The wind has started to play its part. I don't think it's actually slowed me down a huge amount because I'm still on my average speeds, but I think psychologically it becomes more difficult, right? It has got a lot flatter though, so that's probably why I'm still maintaining the same average speed. I think it's about 50k now to Cambridge, which was where I was planning on having dinner. I have my suspicions I'm going to get there and not be able to eat much, but I will give it a go, see how I feel by the time I get there. Just need to get my liquids back up, get a banana in me. I've actually had to buy some sun cream, it's so warm. Anyway, 200k to go. Nice long unexpected cycle path, and whilst it's a little bit slower than the road, it's very sheltered from the wind and it's in the shade, which so thankful for that. So I'm running alongside this guided busway. I've never really seen one of these before. It's kind of weird, I just came across it when I was doing the route planning. I had to look up some pictures of it because I was like, what the hell is that, a guided busway? And well, here it is. It's an odd thing. It kind of looks like a relic of the past. Is this unique? I don't think I've ever seen or heard of one anywhere else. I don't know. If there's one in your area, tell me down below in the comments, like, I'm interested to know. Alright, I'm in the village of Girton, just on the outskirts of Cambridge. That's 200k done. So I planned to have dinner in Cambridge, but I also planned to come through Girton because I knew it had a shop. And I thought there was a good chance I might not actually want to have to stop up in Cambridge. Stopping in a city at this point can be a right ball ache. Tomato and basil chicken bowl. I was feeling in a hell of a state when I got here, honestly. It's just been so hot. I just had to sit outside the co-op in the shade, got my boots off and just cool off for like 10 or 15 minutes. The heat has been pretty oppressive actually. Feeling a lot better now actually, just having cooled off. I think this pasta bowl might be quite a good choice as well. So I'm going to tuck into this and sit here for a bit and rest, and then get back on the road in a while. So 256 kilometers in. Last 50k was sort of tough going again. A lot of it into the wind, a lot of undulations. Pretty tired, stomach's feeling I'm struggling to eat on the bike, which is a problem. But yeah, this is tough at this point. This has been a much harder 250 than I would say most of the previous 300s that I've done. I'm roughly 45 minutes behind schedule. I don't really see any way I can make that up. It's just about damage limitation at this point, because the further I get behind schedule now, the more it just eats into sleepy time. The quicker I get to the hotel, the quicker I can get to sleep. The more sleep I get before I have to get up tomorrow until dawn again. Alright, catch you in a bit. Feels like forever since I've been riding at sunset. Well, I fucked up this bit of the route big time. I mean, geez, that got a bit gnarly actually. I mean, that was proper mountain bike stuff. I've still gone down a private road. The private road was so long, I was kind of past the point of no return. So I've ended up having to do a bit of rough stuff here in the dark, which isn't really that bad, honestly. But it's something I could have done without. So this is Weldon Garden City. Kind of nice to come into a little bit of civilization actually. It's one of the things about night riding like this. Yeah, this sort of contrast of being in your little bubble out in the middle of nowhere on the lanes, and then coming into a kind of lit but deserted, populated area. It's quite nice. 296k done. It's 9:45. Plan had been to get to the hotel by 12. I don't think I'm going to do that now. Should still be able to get 6 hours sleep, I guess. Depends how long checking in and getting a shower and all that takes, but whew. Last 50k was pretty good. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll just get back on the road. This is St Albans. Seems like quite a busy place. 20 to 11 on a Wednesday night. "42 kilometers to go." Feeling all right for it. I guess at best I'd say I've had about 5 hours sleep. A broken 5 hours though. So yeah, yesterday. Okay, the route itself is actually a pretty easy route, honestly. I mean, not like it was a difficult route. The challenge yesterday was obviously the heat. That was killer. Some long sections of headwind. Guess the first 100k nice and easy, fine. 100 to 150 started heating up. 150 to 200 proper hot. Took a longer break again than scheduled just to try and cool down to start really. 200 to 250 was mostly a wind issue. 250 to 350 though, it cooled right down by that point, started getting dark. I kind of enjoy riding in the dark, and it's been sort of a while since I've done that. I felt quite good again. I didn't really catch up anything on average speeds or whatever, but I wasn't feeling bad pedaling. You know, to a certain degree, I think endurance riding is about feeling good, even if you're not necessarily actually going particularly quick or shooting up hills or whatever. It don't really matter if you're feeling good in whatever it is you're doing, then I think that makes a big difference to your level of enjoyment. Today, another 250k. Today's challenge is certainly going to be the wind. It's pretty much a headwind from the from the word go, and I suspect it's going to be headwind the entire way. So yeah, that's going to be challenging. It doesn't look anywhere near as hot today. Might have a bit of rain. That's fine. Rain's okay. I guess just got to get out there on the bike now. Oh, this wind is just incredible. I mean, I'm looking at 30 to 40k an hour headwind at the minute. Occasionally there's a touch of respite, and you think, oh, if I can just get a few kilometres done at a reasonable pace, then maybe it'll be alright. And then 50 yards later you turn back into it. Not only that, when it's a side wind, I'm just getting buffeted into the middle of the road. I've lost count the amount of times the front wheel's just been picked up and dumped, and I don't know, I'm feeling like it's a matter of time before there's a car passing me at the wrong moment. This would be my first DNF, which I don't really take lightly, honestly. But I'm just really struggling to see how I can possibly get this done today. Just really unfortunate with this storm. Okay, I'm in Wantage now. Basically I've called it. I don't want to get too much into it now, of course. I need to get some perspective from it. I'll probably round this one up in a few days. There's certainly some positives to take from it, but yeah, I mean, luckily I was on my way to my mum and dad's anyway, and I'm just waiting for my dad to come pick me up now. So yeah, like I said, a few days time, get some perspective, and I think work out what I did right, what I did wrong, and what the lessons are for next time. So there's a whole bunch of stuff I could be unpacking from this one. My first DNF, on any type of endurance challenge. I mean, of course, there's going to be sort of positives and negatives here. Now, I have written up a blog post about the all the things that I felt I got wrong and what I should have done different. But for the purposes of this kind of roundup, I want to try and keep it to the kind of positives, really. When I started riding on day 2, I was pretty sure pretty quickly that it was all over. Now, of course, I carried on riding, trying to get through it and everything but yeah, honestly, I think my motivation went pretty quickly because I just knew that it was not going to happen. I mean, I was wrestling the bike to stay in a straight line. I was getting dumped into the middle of the road really quickly within the first kind of 5 or 6k. In total, I did about 70k that day. So, you know, I probably pressed on to try and see if something would change. But yeah, I knew pretty early. Once I'd made that decision, though, that it was done, I actually managed to kind of move on from the disappointment of that pretty quickly. This is actually something that's kind of like quite important to me because several years ago, that's something I would have held on to for a long time. So got to a point kind of mentally and in my sort of my own mental health really, where I can face that sort of disappointment and that kind of frustration, and then just be able to instantly, pretty much instantly anyway, let go of it and sort of just accept that that's what's happened and get on with things. I feel it's kind of a big positive and a step forwards for me personally. Another positive thing as well was that although clearly I didn't finish, I knew I had the legs to. It wasn't because I was just not able to keep going that I bailed. I knew I had the legs. I felt really confident in that. So again, that's a massive positive that I can take forwards. Another thing I really enjoyed was just the super long day and then riding into the night. It's been quite a while since I've done any sort of proper night riding, and although still only riding until sort of like 1 in the morning isn't necessarily what you might call proper night riding, it gave me a taste of that again, and that was something I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed as well just the hours out there on the bike, just, you know, I mean, it ended up like about an 18-hour day or something. And again, I was just loving that. It had its ups and downs, of course. There was some bits of that ride that were tough and much tougher than I expected, honestly. But yeah, just the time out on the bike was really good. I just really enjoyed that aspect of it. Finally, going forwards, I'm actually feeling really good about doing a 400 later in the month. I mean, ultimately, I was only 40 odd K short of doing that on day 1 of this ride. So, you know, I'm happy that that's not going to be a problem at all. And to try and get 600 done as well before the end of the season. Of course, we've got a month extra on the end of this season now, so the time pressure isn't there like it was, but I'm feeling really good for those and confident that I'm going to be able to get those done.